Most people think they already understand America before they visit. They expect bigger roads, bigger food, and bigger houses, but that's not what surprises them. Again and again, travelers from Europe return home talking about something completely different. Not the skyscrapers, not Hollywood, not Times Square. Instead, they keep remembering the little things Americans barely notice anymore. Simple, everyday conveniences that quietly make life easier. Some visitors even admitted that after experiencing them, going back home felt strangely different. So what changed their minds, and why did 6 ordinary parts of American life completely reshape the way many Europeans saw the country? Let's begin with something almost invisible until the summer heat arrives. Reason number 1. Comfort isn't a luxury, it's an expectation. For many Europeans, visiting America during summer begins with a familiar assumption. People say Americans rely too much on air conditioning. Before arriving, some imagine freezing restaurants, icy shopping malls, and office buildings that feel more like refrigerators than workplaces. From the outside, it can seem unnecessary. After all, many European cities have lived through warm summers for generations using open windows, thick stone walls, shutters, and fresh evening air. So naturally, many visitors expect America's cooling habits to feel excessive. Then they land. Within hours, something unexpected begins happening. After walking through humid streets under the afternoon sun, they enter an airport. Cool. Then a hotel. Cool again. Later, a supermarket. The same comfortable temperature. Restaurants, museums, sports arenas, coffee shops, even small convenience stores. Almost everywhere they go, stepping indoors feels like leaving summer behind. What surprises them isn't that air conditioning exists. Europe has air conditioning too. The surprise is how consistent it is. It becomes part of everyday life instead of an occasional luxury. Many travelers say they stopped thinking about it after only a day or two. And that's exactly what made the biggest impression. Comfort became normal. Without realizing it, they started expecting every building to offer the same relief. Then they imagined returning home during a heat wave, a crowded train station with warm indoor air, a hotel room without strong cooling, a restaurant where opening the windows is the only solution. Suddenly, those experiences felt different, not because Europe had changed, but because their expectations had. Of course, Europe's older cities face challenges America doesn't. Historic buildings weren't designed with modern cooling systems in mind, and preserving centuries of architecture often limits major renovations. America, by comparison, developed much of its modern infrastructure during a different era. Many buildings were planned with climate control already in mind. Neither approach is right or wrong. One protects history, the other prioritizes consistent comfort. But after experiencing both, many visitors admitted something they never expected. They no longer saw America's cooling systems as unnecessary. Instead, they began seeing them as one of those invisible conveniences that quietly improve everyday life. And once you stop noticing comfort, it usually means it's working perfectly. But staying comfortable indoors wasn't the biggest surprise. The next discovery happened somewhere almost everyone visits within their first few days, a place Europeans thought would feel completely familiar until they walked through the front door. Reason number 2. One store can replace an entire afternoon. Shopping is something travelers rarely think twice about. Groceries are groceries. A supermarket is a supermarket. At least, that's what many European visitors expect before arriving. Then they step inside one of America's larger retail stores, and suddenly, a simple shopping trip becomes an unexpected experience. In many European cities, daily life has developed around neighborhoods. Fresh bread from one bakery, vegetables from another market, household supplies somewhere else. Everything is usually close by, but spread across different places. Walking from one stop to another feels completely normal. America followed a different path. Instead of bringing people closer to many small stores, it often brings many stores together under one enormous roof. Visitors quickly notice they aren't just buying groceries, they can also replace a broken phone charger, pick up medicine, buy clothes, choose camping equipment, find kitchen appliances, grab pet supplies, and finish with dinner, all without leaving the same building. For travelers exploring unfamiliar cities, that convenience becomes surprisingly valuable. Forget your sunglasses? They're probably inside. Need a travel pillow? Same place. Phone battery dying? No problem. One stop solves almost everything. Then comes another surprise: the size. Shopping carts seem larger, shelves stretch farther, parking lots feel endless. Even familiar products appear in quantities many visitors rarely see back home. Family-sized becomes warehouse-sized. Many Europeans laugh the first time they see enormous packages designed to last weeks instead of days. Some even take photos, not because the products are unusual, but because the scale is. Of course, bigger isn't automatically better. European cities often make it easier to walk to local shops without needing a car. Smaller neighborhood businesses create a different kind of community. Many visitors still prefer that lifestyle. But experiencing America's approach helps them understand why it developed. Longer driving distances, larger households, weekly shopping instead of daily trips, everything fits together. What first looked like excessive consumer culture begins making practical sense. It isn't simply about buying more, it's about saving time, reducing errands, making one trip accomplish 5 different tasks. And perhaps that's why so many visitors leave with a different opinion than they arrived with. They don't suddenly stop appreciating European neighborhood life. Instead, they begin understanding that America optimized convenience in a completely different way. And just when they think they've figured out that pattern, another everyday experience challenges their expectations once again. This time, it isn't about comfort or shopping. It's about something every traveler eventually needs, yet almost nobody expects to become one of the biggest culture shocks of the entire trip. Reason number 3, a small convenience that left a big impression. By this point, many European visitors had started noticing a pattern. America seemed to remove small inconveniences before they became problems. But the next surprise wasn't found inside a stadium or a supermarket. It appeared during one of the most ordinary moments of any trip: finding a restroom. Most Americans never think twice about it. If they're in a shopping center, gas station, restaurant, airport, or large retail store, they simply walk in, use the restroom, and continue their day. There's rarely a second thought. For some European travelers, however, the experience feels surprisingly different. In several parts of Europe, especially around tourist attractions, busy train stations, or city centers, public restrooms sometimes require a small fee. The amount usually isn't large, but it's another step. Finding coins, using a payment gate, searching for an available facility, planning ahead. None of these are major problems, yet when you're exploring a new city for 10 hours straight, even tiny delays become noticeable. America's approach often feels simpler. Roadside travel plazas, large supermarkets, coffee shops, highway rest stops. Many places provide restrooms as part of the customer experience rather than as a separate service. Visitors begin realizing they almost never need to think about it. Ironically, that's exactly what makes it memorable. The best conveniences are often the ones you stop noticing. Long road trips make this difference even clearer. Driving hundreds of miles across unfamiliar states can sound exhausting, yet every few exits, another travel plaza appears. Fuel, food, coffee, restrooms. everything designed for people constantly on the move. For Europeans experiencing America's enormous distances for the first time, these stops begin to feel less like businesses and more like part of the transportation system itself. Of course, America isn't perfect here either. One detail immediately catches visitors off guard: the restroom stall doors. Large gaps around the edges often surprise Europeans who are used to much more enclosed designs. Some laugh, others feel slightly uncomfortable. Many ask the same question: why so much privacy outside the restroom, but so little once you're inside? It becomes one of those funny cultural differences travelers love talking about after returning home. Europe may offer greater privacy. America often offers greater accessibility. Neither system is flawless, but after experiencing both, many visitors admit something unexpected. When you're traveling all day, convenience usually wins. And once again, a small, everyday detail quietly changes how people see the country. Yet that wasn't the biggest difference, because the next discovery couldn't be missed. It stretched for miles in every direction and completely changed how many Europeans understood America's enormous scale. Reason number 4: a country built for distance. Maps can be deceiving. Before arriving, many Europeans look at America's cities and assume driving between them won't feel very different from home. After all, a few hours on the road sounds familiar. Then they begin traveling. Suddenly, distances take on an entirely new meaning. Driving across one American state can sometimes feel like crossing several European countries. Roads seem endless, highways stretch toward the horizon, interchanges connect lane after lane with remarkable precision, and parking lots appear so large that some visitors joke they could fit an entire neighborhood inside them. At first, it feels overwhelming. Then it begins making sense. America wasn't simply built bigger for the sake of being bigger. It was built around movement. Families driving long distances, businesses transporting goods across thousands of miles, sports fans traveling between cities, communities connected by highways instead of medieval streets. The infrastructure reflects those priorities. European visitors often notice something else. Vehicles suddenly look different too. Back home, large pickup trucks and full-sized SUVs can seem unnecessarily oversized. But after driving through wide roads, spacious intersections, and parking areas designed specifically for them, those same vehicles no longer feel out of place. They fit naturally into the environment around them. That's when many travelers realize something important. Sometimes what looks excessive from another country simply matches the world it was built for. Of course, Europe offers advantages America often admires. Historic city centers encourage walking. Public transportation connects neighborhoods efficiently. Restaurants, cafes, and local markets are often only minutes away on foot. That kind of urban life creates a completely different rhythm. Many Americans travel to Europe precisely because of that experience. The comparison isn't about deciding which system is better, it's about understanding why they evolved differently. Europe grew over centuries around compact cities. America expanded across vast open spaces. Each solved different challenges, each created different lifestyles. But after spending several days crossing American highways, something unexpected happens. Many visitors stop asking, "Why are the roads so big?" Instead, they begin asking, "How else could a country this large possibly work?" It's a subtle shift in perspective, one that changes criticism into understanding. And by now, another pattern has become impossible to ignore. The air conditioning, the giant stores, the accessible facilities, the massive road network. Every example points toward the same idea. America often designs daily life around saving time and reducing friction. But perhaps the clearest example of that philosophy is still waiting, because when many European visitors finally step inside an ordinary American home, they discover that the country's biggest surprise isn't outside at all. Reason number 5, why ordinary American homes feel surprisingly different. By now, many European visitors have noticed a pattern. America doesn't always impress people with famous landmarks. Instead, it changes opinions through ordinary daily life. And nowhere is that more obvious inside an average American home. Before visiting, many Europeans already know American houses are larger. Movies and television have shown spacious suburban neighborhoods for decades, so bigger homes aren't exactly a surprise. But living inside one, even for a few days, is a completely different experience. The first thing many visitors notice isn't luxury, it's breathing room. Bedrooms don't feel crowded, hallways seem wider, kitchens become places where several people can cook at the same time. Living rooms aren't designed only for watching television. They become gathering spaces, family spaces, places where everyday life simply feels less restricted. Then come the little details: large refrigerators that hold an entire week's groceries, dedicated laundry rooms instead of squeezing a washing machine into the kitchen or bathroom, walk-in closets that keep bedrooms organized, garages that serve not only as parking spaces, but also as workshops, storage rooms, home gyms, or hobby spaces. Individually, none of these features seem extraordinary. Together, they quietly remove dozens of small inconveniences from daily life. Many visitors begin asking themselves an unexpected question: how much time do Americans save simply because their homes are designed this way? Of course, European homes offer something equally valuable. Many are located within walking distance of cafes, local markets, historic streets, and public transportation. Life often happens outside the home as much as inside it. That creates a different lifestyle, one built around neighborhoods rather than private space. Neither approach is inherently better. They simply reflect different priorities. Europe often maximizes community. America often maximizes personal space. After experiencing both, many travelers realize they're not choosing between good and bad. They're choosing between two completely different ideas of comfort. Some return home appreciating their city's energy even more. Others quietly admit they miss something they never expected: opening a closet without running out of room, preparing dinner without bumping into someone every few minutes, or simply enjoying the feeling of having space to breathe. What seemed excessive before the trip now feels practical, not because bigger is always better, but because thoughtful design can make everyday life easier. And by now, 5 different experiences all point toward the same conclusion. America rarely surprises visitors with one spectacular invention. Instead, it surprises them with hundreds of small conveniences working together. But one final discovery ties everything together. It isn't about houses or highways or shopping. It's about a way of thinking. And for many European visitors, that's the biggest surprise of all. Reason number 6. America's real advantage isn't size, it's convenience. By the end of their journey, many European travelers begin noticing something they couldn't quite explain at first. Every experience seems connected. The cool buildings, the giant stores, the free restrooms, the wide highways, the spacious homes. Individually, they're just everyday features, but together they reveal something much larger. America often designs systems around one simple question: how can this be easier? Instead of expecting people to adapt to the system often adapts to people. Need groceries, medicine, and new clothes? One trip. Driving across several states? Services appear along the way. Hot outside? Most buildings are already prepared. Living with a family? Homes are designed to store, organize, and simplify daily routines. None of these ideas are revolutionary on their own, but when they work together every day, they create a feeling visitors remember long after returning home. Interestingly, many Europeans don't come back saying, "America's perfect." Instead, they say something much more thoughtful. "Now I understand why Americans live the way they do." Perspective replaces assumption. Criticism becomes curiosity. And that's one of the most valuable parts of travel. It allows people to see familiar ideas through unfamiliar eyes. At the same time, many American visitors experience the exact opposite when traveling through Europe. They fall in love with centuries-old architecture, walkable city centers, public squares filled with life, historic cafes, efficient public transportation, a lifestyle where many daily errands don't require a car at all. Those experiences leave just as strong an impression, which reveals an important truth. Neither continent has solved every problem. Europe excels at preserving history, community, and human-scale cities. America excels at creating convenience, comfort, and infrastructure built for movement. The real lesson isn't deciding which is better, it's recognizing that different places solve different challenges in different ways. And perhaps that's why so many European visitors return home with changed opinions. Not because America matched their expectations, but because it quietly challenged them. The biggest surprises weren't famous attractions, they weren't headline-making achievements. They were ordinary experiences repeated every single day. The kind of details most Americans hardly notice anymore. Sometimes the strongest culture shock doesn't come from something extraordinary. It comes from realizing that another country has spent decades making everyday life feel just a little easier. And once you've experienced that, it's surprisingly difficult to stop noticing.